Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sean, and this is the Old Man of the Redwood RC. Appreciate you for being here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome in. We're continuing on with the faux poised build. We are now into putting the drivetrain in and put the transmission and the drive lines in and see if we can get all that situated so that we can get on to the next. In the next episode, we'll be putting the electrics in and hopefully getting it fired up and seeing how it kind of acts. So right now, I did a little bit of pirating off of my 10.3 and got the brass off of it, which is not that much, so it'll help a little bit. They're 48 grams a piece. And the nice thing is about the axial pieces from Hot Racing is the same one goes on all four corners. So put the brass on in there, and seems to be working pretty good so far. I did develop some weird little tick in the back, so maybe there's some clearance issues in there. We'll find out. I'll look into that later after we get this sucker put together and see how it turns out and all that anyways. But I wanted to find out what those USD stickies look like on here, and they look ridiculous. They look absolutely ridiculous. Look at this monstrosity here. It's freaking huge. Those are nuts. But I don't know, maybe you can, oh yeah, you probably can hear that through the mic. Something is a little crunchy in there now. And I can't remember when I did all the transplanting of stuff inside the axles. I can't remember if I changed out the ring and pinion locker in the rear one or if I left that one alone. So that might still be the Crapra gears in there. Because I know I didn't change the gears out in the portals. So maybe that's it getting a little crunchy now that it's got some weight on it, but I'll find out later. So on to getting some drivetrain put in this and get these wheels off of here, and we'll get into her. Okay. Now I do have a rear drive line already in here, kind of got that one all fitted up so I can get some measurements off of that and see where I need to be on that one. But I'll probably need to get this stuff off of here too, so I can, I want to get both of these off here so I have clear shot for the front drive line so we're not fighting it in there. I can just pull this battery out. Don't have the Velcro on there yet. Servo needs to come off so that I can get in there and do that. Loosen that little booger. Get that off of there. That can come off. We'll put you back for right now. It's going to need to come off anyway so that we can zero the servo anyways once. These got to come all the way out. There's enough of a wraparound on there that you can't just undo it and flick them off of there. So let me get the servo off of here, and then we'll get on to making some room for ourselves here. Because we definitely need to cut this out of the way so I don't bump it again, so you guys don't get flipped around there. I'm using the gimbal again this time. It's a little bit more steady. That sucker's heavy itself. That's pretty dang heavy. I don't need to look and see how heavy that thing is too. So I'm going to get this brace off of here. The body mount, not a brace. Well, it is a brace. It's both, actually. It's both. Put those in there so I don't, well, I forget where they're at. We'll get our electronics tray out of the way. It'll just make it that much easier. Now, I've been trying to figure out, bouncing the table like crazy. Hopefully that's staying pretty stable. Whoops. Can't find it. There it is. On how to mount the transmission, whether I wanted to angle it or if it's just going to have to just go straight on. And I'm going to probably need some help from the motor. I'm going to need to mount the motor up too, temporarily, so that we can get, oops, there we go. Up there, so now we're wide open. So let's get the transmission out. This little guy. So I don't know if I'm going to be using just the one little spacer plate to riser it up a little bit, or if I'm going to be using both of them to centralize this so I can actually slide back, just straight back and forth, because I might need, we'll see. This is the fun part. Just so much fun. I love this stuff. And a bunch of bags, a bunch of screws here so that I can determine on which ones I'm actually going to be needing. Well, them guys can go over there, put the battery on them so the breeze doesn't blow them away. And I need to mount the motor up. Look at this thing. Let's get this whole thing out of here. Because at the same time, I need to find out how much of this am I going to be trimming off of here. Because yes, I'm going to cut these down. I'm not going to leave them like this. I want it to be as compact and with as minimal amount of wiring as possible. And being that that motor is going to be sitting like right about in here somewhere, it's going to need to have that trimmed down a lot. So let me get the motor mounted up. Did I have? No. Those are way too long. Let's try. I don't remember what the heck I had going on there. Let me put that over there. We'll get in here to our family O screws and see what I might need. Get into our 3 mils. I think 8 mil might work. 8 mil might be long enough to do what I need to do for right now. If it's not for later, that's fine. I can just change it out. But let's see how much I got going through there. Oh, that'll be plenty. That will be plenty. Too small. And I really like to keep the wires as upright as possible. But that may not be. That's not too bad there. There's nothing moving. That screw does kind of go through the casing a little bit inside around the windings. So I might have to back that out for the next size down. So you got to pay attention to stuff like that because you don't want that screw going in there and messing with your windings and grounding something out. But right now, we're only just doing this just to get it so we know where the transmission is going to sit in the chassis. So that can slide out to its maximum outboard adjustment. That way, whoop, we have enough there. So, do I put this little booger on here? Okay, we're already hitting links here. So, yeah, we might be... That's going to be way too low. We'd have to do the spacer anyways. So, should I... That spins around. There's a funky little thing on this transmission, too, that I noticed. That when they... Being that this is another Amazon piece, this one little screw right here goes past... I don't know if you can see, but it goes past the flat surface of the whole bottom of the transmission. So either I shave it off or we just kind of bypass it. Now I can do it this way with just the spacer. That'll raise it up a little bit. And then I can set it sideways. But I think that might be a bit much. But if I do it like this, that's going that way. And that would interfere with the drive line. If I do it this way, if I come over here though, that centralizes the motor a little bit more. So let's try something and see what it looks like. I will... Will that drop through? No, those are not big enough. Those are not long enough. Put that one through. And then we're going to put this on here, but it's not long enough to come through there. So we'll use the button heads for right now, because those are long enough. I know that. To get into the transmission. There it goes. Yeah, I got the shallow side to that side, so okay, we're good. Oops. You need to scoot all the way over here. So now, see, that's a really extreme angle. That's a little ridiculous. And it's hitting into that link. So we might have to go square. Can I could slide that way back so that it wouldn't be. But it's still pretty ridiculous on the angle there. So let's take a look at some stupidity. Get this other button head screw out of here. I'm still thinking that we're probably just going to have to just square it up and just go straight on into it. This and that one. Loosen that and let it slide all the way out there. That's just too much, I think. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. So, and it's still hitting the link. So, let's see if I take this out and don't fling it around like that. If I go to here, that's not too bad, but this angle here, because this is a moving piece, is going to be, let's see, what does it do when I completely compress these out? Yeah, we're hitting the links. So we'd have to back up onto the other side, to the back of the skid. But this angle here is going to be bad anyways because of driveline angle to moving parts here. And they may be spinning in different directions, so that would probably screw them up. So let me fiddle with this for a minute, and we'll get back to it. Well, that took longer than expected. Took me a little bit to get it all figured out and get the transmission situated. So I went ahead and cut all the drive lines to fit so we can just install them real quick so you don't have to go through all of that. It wasn't too bad measuring out the drive lines. It was pretty easy just to put it all in there and measure and see, because it's these bars actually have little measurement marks on them, so you can just go by little individual marks. So I just seen where it was at and went a couple marks farther and cut it there and seen how it went, because these ones actually are quite interesting. The other end of this bar, it's not just a D bar like these are anyway. See, this is has just a flat side, so it's not a universal going either way. The other side actually is splined, so that makes it even that much more fun. But got it all figured out. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to install the drive lines and keep this video from going on forever and ever and ever. So I already got the transmission situated. I'll get you guys down here to it. Decided that it was just going to be just straight on with the transmission, and everything is clearing, even on full compression. It's not touching anything. I ended up having to use both plates on there to get it to where it was not touching any of the front links. So we're good there. It's super close. As you can tell, it's got some real close clearances in there, but everything's good. Everything seems to clear so far. So we're going to get the drive lines in and get them in their proper phasing. And then I did notice with these, though, these Amazon ones, that on the axial, because this is in the back of this one, I did notice that I did put the axial one in there because it doesn't have the groove in there for the snap ring. like the Crapra one did. So that is the actual ring and pinion in there. So I think my ticking is probably out here. So I may not be able to use the brass on the rear, which is fine. I just wanted to put it on there just because, but just to get a little bit more, a little tiny bit of weight to the back to kind of balance it a little bit more so it's not so aggressive in the front. But hey, whatever. But I did notice with these, the hole in the where it's supposed to go onto the pinion and the transmission, your carrier bearings, make sure they're going to fit, because out of these 3 drive lines, only one of them on the spline side actually fits the yeah, it won't. I guess the powder coating maybe is too thick in there or something, but see, it won't go on there, but it goes onto here perfectly. It goes onto there perfectly fine. But on that one there, it will not go on the ring and pinions. Same with the one for the front drive line. It won't go. It fits on here fine, but it won't go on the back one. But put that back there where it's supposed to be. The one for the back, it is the splined end. Goes on there just perfectly fine. So it just has to be in the powder coating is all, or the hole wasn't drilled enough or something like that, because this one goes on everything perfectly fine. You can feel that it's a little bit snugger on the axial pinion shafts than it is on all this, because see, there's a little bit of waggle there, and there's not as much play on there. But anyways, just saying, if you get these, keep that in mind. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to get everybody all set up and phased in and just put the drive lines in. Also, before I get going on that, these come with the bar to put into the other side, because the bar is completely removable out of both sides. You got splines on one end and then the D-ring on the other. So the other end actually has a grub screw that holds on to the drive line. Now it has one, does on both sides, it has a hole on both sides, but it only comes with a grub screw for one side. And they're not good. But it did come with, for when you're putting this onto the shaft, it does come with its own, the long stem screws that run all the way through there. So that makes it a lot easier there. But a lot of these aren't, the socket isn't cut nicely. So I replaced all of those with some stuff that I have in my toolbox, and I put a grub screw on either side, because it only comes with one little black one, and it's not good either, because the socket's not cut right. So that all being said, let's get these suckers in here. Put that one there. My fat fingers can actually get it down in there without using the wrench. There we go. Oops. And that's not the side that has the threads. There we go. And I'll put that one onto here. I like having the spline sides pointed towards the back. That way when you're crawling, you're not scooping dirt into your splines. But being that Oh, well, I guess I could because that one does fit. This one does fit the up here, doesn't it? Dur. Yeah, this one does fit up here. So I could do that up. I still can do that. All right, cool. Because all of these are all exactly the same, so you don't have to worry about that part of it. See, that does go on there kind of tight too, but that's okay because this will fix it. Mm-hmm. What the heck is happening there? Ah, the powder coat is just being a major pain. Major pain. There we go. Re-angle my carrier brakes now that it's twisted it into a funky angle. There it goes. Now, all my splines are going to the back. Awesome. Everybody's cut and ready to go in. Make sure we phase them the right direction. Yes. Just like that. Put another one in there. Trying to drown. Hopefully, you're not hearing the TV too much. Trying to drown it out as much as I possibly can just by talking. Copyright infringements, you know. This is our stationary drive line. There we go. Nice. Is on there. I'll go back and put some Loctite on these things later. Everybody's probably going, "You're not putting Loctite on anything." Nope, not right now. We're building. This is all mock-up. And go back through and get everything buttoned up the way that it's supposed to be for when you get ready to run it. I still gotta shim the links too because they're all still got that nasty play in them too. So there it is. Oh, let's put some electronic tray on here too. Let's see if this is gonna fit. How this is gonna fit on here. Am I gonna have to go up? The wires will come out. Can I get away from it there? Maybe. Let's just throw it on there real quick while we're here and see where we're going to be at. Put the short side on first. Where am I at? There we are. Oops. Back up. This side doesn't have the spacer, so that looks like it's going to work really, really good. Better than I thought it might. Everything's starting to come together. Oh, baby. Where are you at? Oh, that's good. Yep. Completely clears everything. Get this side button down. Yep. You can sit right down on the transmission. That's perfect. It's almost like it was supposed to be that way. Yeah. Nice little tray right there. Motor's hidden up underneath. Thanks, Vanquish. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. That looks even better now with the drivelines in there. That's awesome. Going to be interesting getting the motor out to put the pinion on it, though, too. So, but that's just part of it. Now, do I want to? No, I can't go to that hole right now without taking the shock off. So we'll just leave it up here for right now. And I'm not sure if I want to use with a body post or if I want to lay it out flat or maybe shave that off and maybe do magnets or maybe something else. I've really thought about doing magnets on the body. And that's a pretty good little surface there. If I shave that off and smooth it out, that would work pretty dang good. Or I could actually lay it out flat so that there's good flat surfaces on both sides of this. I could flip it back. Well, can't really because now it hits the shock tower, but you can flip it forward like that. And you got a big flat surface for the body just to sit down onto with a magnet. So things to still be determined. Still got to determine the paint job anyways. So Max, there's nobody there. There's nobody there. Don't give me your old man grumbles. So here you go. Now I can either run the wires out this way, or I could possibly bring them over this way and up to the ESC, or I could come up through here too, which would be super clean, and bring them over to the ESC this way. We'll find out. Right, up this way. We'll find out. That looks so good. Much better. Much, much better. It's getting there. We're getting there. So that's it. Got the drivetrain in. Now we're going to be messing with configuring the electronics and seeing how that's going to fit. Looks like it'll fit pretty good, actually. Okay, I got to do it. I got to see. Because I know that this little tiny thing, it has a spot. There's already a spot there for it, so there's no arguing with that. But this guy, and there's a tonnage of wire on this thing too, so there's going to be a lot of cutting down here too. Not the power wire, where I'm not cutting that. Battery wire, yes. But see, on this one, you have the 3 bullets that go in there. So, setting that up here, and which way do we want to put it? We want to put it there and have the bullets come over, have the bullets there, like that, or put the wiring to where it's going inboard and have the bullets maybe come out underneath here and up and over on the side. There should be plenty of room here for to do it that way. So that's going to be the next decisions that we're going to be making to getting this thing all complete. So anyways, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for following along. And hopefully we're going to have this thing up and running in the next couple of episodes. And I'm going to leave the USD stickies on these wheels for right now, and we get it fired up and see how they work. And then we'll go on to the ruptures, which are an actual 475 height tire. So, which is a huge difference from a 575. That's a whole inch shorter, but they're going to bite a lot better, I think. I want to see what these will do. I really want to see what these will do out on the rocks first. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share. If you're new, yeah, hit that notification bell too. It's all free. There's nothing costs anything. And thanks a lot. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.